Congratulations! You are about to graduate from your secondary school. With all the happiness and excitement aside, you are facing a path in front of you that is unclear. You feel the pain of being not sure what to do next. You are not ready to work and you find it boring to continue studying in your country. So where should you go from here? You're thinking about getting out of the country and trying something completely new. Thinking about studying abroad. This sounds so expensive. Is this really a good option? Hi, my name is Osman Fung. About 10 years ago, I went from being an ESL student learning English to a college student working on my bachelor degree to now a full-time employee on an H-1B visa. The journey I had to get to this point was definitely like a roller coaster. I have these 3 tips here I'm going to talk about. It could add value to your journey. Make sure to stay till the end. So let's begin. Why you should study abroad in the United States? English as a language is spoken worldwide. Most people in the world know some level of English. When it comes to traveling or visiting foreign countries, English comes to the rescue. All you need is just some basic knowledge in English. It will be enough to get you in and out of the country. On top of this, knowing English will definitely open up more opportunities for you. I chose to study in the United States because it has one of the best education systems in the world. With the access to the advanced technology and research knowledge of the modern practices, the United States also has the most diversity in the world. There are many cultures and religions you get to see. You will also learn from different people and develop your own self. From another point of view, why should some employers pause and take notice of your education from the United States? Studying abroad in the United States doesn't just give you widely accepted degrees and certificates, it also shows who you are. Living and studying in another country is challenging. It requires courage and a positive attitude. Sometimes these characteristics are more influential than your degree. Since we are talking about English as a great tool that can lead to a much brighter future, tip number 1. Learn your English quick with ESL courses. When I first came to the United States, I started studying the ESL program in a community college. There were a lot of students from different countries as well. I asked them why they came all the way to the United States to study ESL program. Most of the students from other first world countries like Japan, South Korea answered they wanted a salary raise by getting better in English skills. Other ESL students came for a US degree and potentially to stay for some job opportunities. So there are different reasons people go for the ESL program abroad. Many articles on Google have also discussed the high effectiveness on learning English abroad, and I completely agree with them. Let's talk about what it is like to study ESL in a US college. When you first arrive at the college, you will take an English placement test. It will test you your current English skills and place you at the correct class level. The ESL program is pretty much make students to be ready for their real college courses. The ESL class sizes in the US are small. Usually it's between 10 and 20 students in one classroom. This is good because the educators can focus better on each student's needs. In my school, there were also free one-on-one ESL tutoring. It was located in my library. Pretty much what you want to do is bring your assignment to the tutor, one-on-one, talk to them, and work on your homework. That experience was amazing. I get to talk one-on-one with an American and try to express myself what I need. I also recommend you to take your ESL classes from a community college. Their cost is a lot lower in comparison to a 4-year university. Just for the record, I was paying $2,500 to $3,000 per quarter. Well, here is the thing. The school you choose doesn't directly reflect the effectiveness of the ESL program. As long as you are willing to learn, wherever you go, you will do just fine. If you like this video so far, please let me know by hitting the like button down below. Thank you. While in return, here's my little learning hack. In the early stages of learning English, I use a software to give me a huge boost in learning my English, improving my grammar and vocabulary count. The name of the software is Rosetta Stone. I'm not sponsored by them, but I use it myself and it was so great. The software teaches you a lot of skills from day-to-day conversations to even advanced conversations. Also, their voice recognition is very helpful and American English accent to teach you throughout the program. It really gives you a feel of listening to a real American and talking back in American accent. Well, I had so much fun imitating the American accents, maybe you do too. Even though I did not fully use the whole program, everything I learned in the software really gave me a huge boost in my English journey. If you find Rosetta Stone is pretty expensive, don't you worry. You can use something like English for Everyone. I use these books to teach my students to learn some English also. These are not very expensive. You get to learn a lot of vocabularies here, and they have a website to show you the pronunciation of each word and sentences. So give it a try. Okay, let's say you enjoy the ESL program and you like the American school system. You want to keep studying here and get a college degree, but you just don't know which major to go with. You can check out this website. It is called mynextmove.org. Answer a few questions here and it will show you some career options that you might like. You might see some jobs that you don't ever heard about, like video editor, digital artist, app designer, dropshipping handlers, musicians, agricultural workers. So what else can you do to search for your future career? You can consult with your career supervisor to get more insights, or even go to a career fair outside of school just to see what is out there. I did it myself and it was so much fun. When you talk to the employers, you get to know a lot of things about their companies. In return, they get to know you and they can see if you could fit in any of their positions. This really helped me to choose my major of studying and my passion for the future. Also, you want to make sure the job you want to work actually requires a degree, so pick carefully. Apply to universities. So you got your field of study. The next step is to find some schools to apply to. If you're planning to work for the top companies, a higher school ranking will be something you want to aim for. I would suggest not to look outside of the top 300 schools. Check out this US college ranking website, the usnews.com. Play with the filters like the locations, ranking, tuitions, school size, majors. You'll see some schools that catch your eyes. If you find this website helpful, make sure to hit the like button. If not, give me a thumbs down, it's fine. We need to move to the next location. So if you're on a low budget like me, don't you worry, I got good news. I started off studying in the Washington state, where the cost of living is kind of high. Then I heard a lot of Vietnamese friends that are moving to Texas because of the low cost of living. I had no idea that the cost of living between states can be so different. So 2 years later, I moved to Texas, and it was such a great relief financially. Let me put some of my spending here in comparison. When I was in Washington state, the average cost to rent a room in a house was $450, while in Texas, it was only $350. All utilities and Wi-Fi are included. The gas was $4 per gallon in Washington state and $3 in Texas. A to-go Chinese lunchbox was $10 in Washington state, but in Texas, it was only $7. Plus, everything is bigger in Texas. It also applies on college tuitions. I was paying $10,000 for 3 quarterly classes in Washington state. In Texas, I was paying $10,000 for 4 semester classes. That is a 33% off. If you don't mind the hot summer and occasional flooding here, Texas might be the perfect state for you to study. One important thing to remember, if you are already studying in a state and you want to transfer to another state, your earned credit might be in danger. The new school might not take your credit hours. They can decline your credit classes. That means you are going to take the classes again at their school. For example, my complete course of calculus was split into 4 classes in the Washington state, and I transferred to Texas, which they only have it in 3 classes. Luckily, I took all 4 classes in the Washington state, so I can move all my 3 calculus courses into here. But let's say if you only take 3 out of 4 calculus classes there, you might only get 2 calculus courses accepted, and you have to take the 3rd one here to complete your calculus course. On top of that, my college in Washington state was a quarterly school. They require us to take 180 credit hours to complete your degree plan. That is 5 credit hours per class. On the other hand, my school in Texas is a semester school. Their degree plan only requires 120 credit hours to finish. That is 3 credit hours per class. If you transfer from a quarterly school to a semester school in Texas, you will lose 2 credit hours per class. That means you're losing money. So consider this before you want to transfer to another state. So quarterly school also have some upsides too. The classes are very condensed. You will have 1 hour per class meeting, an average of 5 meetings in a week. Pros: students can focus school better with only 3 classes to study at a time. Shorter meetings like 1 hour per class can give students a better focus in their class. Cons: high frequency of class meeting. That means you have to come to school 5 times a week. The more class hours there is, the higher tuition will be. Let's eat some food first. In a semester setting, F1 students are only required to take 12 credit hours per semester. To consider as a full-time student, each semester's class is 3 credit hours. That means you only need to meet 3 times or even 2 times per week. Cons: it can get very boring for a 90-minute class. The classrooms are usually very big. Students would get very easily distracted in class. With 4 classes to study for, students can get confused between subjects if they are similar enough. With only 2 class meetings per week, it takes a lot of self-control to do well in class, since there is a lot of free times outside of school. Pros: lower credit hours means cheaper the tuition and less traveling to school. So you can base on the pros and cons on both sides to decide what kind of school is best for you. When looking for your school, make sure to look at their deadline carefully. Some schools has way earlier deadline. Make sure you don't miss their deadline. If so, your application will get pushed to the next semester or quarter. Okay, let's say if you are having trouble studying in your school, no worries. I got one last hack for you. Let's say you fail your first exam, you should talk to your professors. You're going to let them know that you are an F1 student and having a disability in English to perfectly understand the class. They are going to help you. How? Since the grading system in an American college is very flexible, exams are not everything they count toward to your final grade. When I was in my community college, I got a C on my first calculus exam. Even though I can ace the 2 next exam, I would still not be able to get an A on my class. I was so disappointed. So I decided to talk to my professor. She told me to keep working on the class and trust me, there will be a surprise. So I trusted her and I worked really hard and I got an A on my second exam. Then there was a special announcement from the professor. She said she would give something called extra credit. Extra credit can be given to encourage students to work hard for some extra points. Some professors likes to give bonus questions on their exam. Some professors would ask students to present in class for some extra credit. My calculus professor gave us 1 extra homework. She said if we can complete this complicated homework before the 3rd exam, she'll make the lowest exam an A. It was like, whoa, I've never heard of extra credit. And at the end, I was lucky enough to solve the problem. Well, not perfectly, but it was enough to complete the homework. So at the end, I got an 8 on my Calculus 1. So if you're struggling with your grade, don't be afraid to let your professor know. They will help you in one way or the other, because their job is to help you to be successful in school. So never hesitate to let your professor know your problems. Thank you. Nice. See you at home. Okay, so that was it for today's video. If you have not done it already, make sure to hit the like button for the almighty YouTube algorithm. Let me know in the comment section down below to tell me your story also. Share with me your hacks, maybe I'll make it into the next video. I'll be making a lot of videos like this in the future. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. See you in the next video.